Welcome to the Keep the Faith podcast. I am your host, Tori, and I have my girl, Miss Tiana, with me today. And listen, Tiana's a teenager, so I'm curious to know what's on the minds of teenagers today. I actually have a teenager myself. I told my son to make sure he's watching this podcast. He could probably possibly learn something from this podcast. But let me start off before you say anything. I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself, and I'm gonna say to you before you even start, I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you. I love your spirit. You're so humble. You well mannered, and let me tell you something. Manners will take you places that money cannot take you. So I just want to first say that I am so very proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep that spirit that you have, and don't allow nobody, no situation, no nothing, no peer pressure, nothing change who you are as a person, because you are just a sweetheart. You are a sweetheart. But anyway, before we start talking, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you, Miss Tori, so much. A little about myself. I am 17. I attend Darlington High School. I am a junior. I'm in 11th grade, and I'm just trying to make it easier for myself for the future. This is something that I would like to do. I enjoy talking publicly.
That's good. That's good. And then tell everybody you got a job. You working
I have,
too.
I have a job. I enjoy the work experience. It's something new. It's something new, and I'm getting used to it. And I really enjoy it.
Okay. Now I asked you, I said, Tiana, what we gonna talk about? And you shocked me. Listen, the topic for today, and this is her topic. I had nothing to do with it. This is her topic. This is what she wants to talk about. And actually, I'm probably going to ask her questions in regards to, as depending on how the conversation goes. I'm going to ask her questions, but I'm going to let her do most of the talking. But the topic, when I asked Tiana, I said, what are we talking about? And she said, mental health, growing up in society, and her future goals. So I'm gonna give you the microphone. Listen, and actually, you do the order in which you want to. If you want to do the order in which you gave it to me, or however you feel comfortable. So have at it. I'm excited.
Well, I chose mental health because I feel like growing up into today's society is, I guess I wasn't born any other time, so I can't say that it's probably different from older generations, but I can say I love my generation now because I feel like we are so, we know not what should not be tolerating. Like, we are aware of how important mental health is, and how certain things can affect you, and not to just allow anything, like such as certain comments. We are now understanding that certain things shouldn't be said, and that everybody's different, and you should just accept it. No, everyone's different at the end of the day, but how we should accept that everyone's different.
Okay. Now tell me exactly, how important is mental health is to you, and what exactly does that mean to you is when you speak on mental health?
Okay, when I speak on mental health, growing up, my mom actually is a mental health counselor. She's there. She works with a lot of people, sees a lot of people, and I've got to be around her so I experienced firsthand how important mental health can be for people. And I feel like in today's society, how my generation is, we're more awoken with how important mental health is.
Now, let me ask you this question. And say you're in a situation when it comes to mental health, and say you have, I'm gonna say two friends. You have B, you have C, you have your friend C over here, and you have your friend B over here. Now, B is coming to you and they're telling you, Tiana, they're telling you things about C, and you know that the things are not true and stuff like that. They're slandering that B is slandering C's name, and they coming to you and talking about. And of course, you know, when a person is lied on, they're slandered and stuff of that nature, that affects their mental health. So if you're the common ground, you're the mutual friend, what would you tell B, or what advice you give B so that they're not criticizing C, and also encourage them to apologize to C and actually bring them together? What would you do in that situation? Because that's some of the things that I faced growing up as a teenager, where there was like, I may be the mutual friend and this person don't like that person, and it's like all of that stuff, even if it's not physical touching or hitting you, that stuff that people say can tear you down mentally, and it has an effect on you. So how would you handle that situation?
Yes, because mentally it can affect you. It even can lead to physical, physical issues as well. But I feel like me personally, because I have experienced this before, what I do is I talk to B because and help them get to realize that you may not like a person, but just go separate ways. What they do shouldn't matter to you. You doing your own thing. Whatever they do should not matter. You can, and there's a certain thing as I still stick by, if you got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all, because there's no reason to bring any negative attention, because that makes you look bad, but it also can affect other people and have you in habits. Words become habits, and habits become a lifestyle. So you're a rude and nasty person, it can affect you later on. It just affects your whole personality all the way.
Absolutely. Oh, that's a good answer. Whew. Was I thinking like that when I was that age? Probably not. I'm probably somewhere crying in the corner or something. But that was a great answer. But let me ask you this. So if you're advising B to make them better, to encourage them to be better, and if they don't take heed to what you're saying, and you are still friends with C, would you still remain friends with B
No,
if they're not changing their ways?
no, I will not. My loyalty lies within my friends. If my friends have a little disagreement that can be solved, I would try and help solve them, but I can't care more than those two people care. So I would try my best to my ability, but if there's nothing I can do, my loyalty lies within the less messy person, which would be C. I don't like toxic. So, no, I can't do it.
I love you.
I can't have negative energy with me. No, no.
I love it. I love it.
You put stuff with people who are like you. I can't associate myself with someone messy.
Right, right. Girl, listen, you on the right track. I tell you on the right track. Now, what do you want to talk about as far as because that's actually good. What do you want to talk to as far as about growing up in a society? Tell me a little bit about that. What are your views on growing up in today's society at the, young age of 17? How growing up in this society has affected you?
It's affecting me because I get to, thanks to social media, I get to see others people's opinions and how they relate to me, like with certain things.
Mhm.
Like I understand now that certain people like go by certain names, he, she, they, them. People, they, it's just fun to learn and experience like what goes through other people's minds. Like, you don't identify as this, you identify as this, you like this. I did not know of all this things going on. I don't, all these genders and stuff. You do whatever, be whatever you wish to be. I respect everybody's decision, and I just enjoy, yes, I really, it's really just I enjoy learning about other people's opinions thanks to social media, really.
Now, when I was growing up, we didn't have social media. So it's actually different from you guys growing up in today's society because y'all have social media. And one thing I can say about you, which I love, when I asked you the other day, I was like, "Do you have Facebook?" And what was your response? Tell everybody publicly. What did you say about Facebook?
Keanu Thomas does not have Facebook. It's too messy for me. I, I guess it's popular now that I moved. It's, I see in certain areas it's more popular to have it, but I don't have it. I don't see the point, the reasoning.
And you don't have a desire to have it in the future either?
Not really. I keep to little Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter. I keep that, but Facebook, I just no.
Because you know what Facebook, see, here's the thing. When it comes to Facebook, personally, Facebook is actually can be a good tool as far as advertisement, but I understand what you're saying. Like when there's a lot of messiness going on Facebook. But here's the thing: if you decide in the future to get a Facebook account, just be purposeful with it, and just in anything that you do, always do things with purpose and with reason, because you can actually do a post that's inspirational and get off. And also, we have to be selective who we decide to have as friends as well, because a lot of times if you don't have friends on your page that's not messy, then you don't have to worry about seeing a messy post. Because when it comes to Facebook, observation for me is that it's a great tool to have, but a lot of people abuse it. So if you decide to get it in the future, just I say with anything you do, which you already on the right track, just do everything, be intentional, and do things with purpose, and lead by example. Like be the change that you want to see. Like you want to see people changing in the world, they're doing the right thing. Always, like I said, stay on the right track and continue to do what you're doing. And like I said, Mama's doing an awesome job, because I just love you. You're just so well mannered and just so sweet. Yes, ma'am. Listen, all kids don't do that. All kids don't do that, and some people, that's Kadarius' mama. Some people just don't say ma'am. They just say that's Kadarius' mama. So I appreciate you being who you are. And like I said, do not change who you are. Now, let me ask you this. Since you guys, in growing up, y'all have had social media growing up, y'all have had the internet. Just like I was telling my son the other day, I said, when we were growing up, like, you guys can actually Google something, go on a computer, go on the internet and Google something. Back in the day, we had encyclopedias. Have you ever heard of encyclopedia?
I've heard of it a while back ago while I was in school. Yes, ma'am. Because I don't remember what it was, but I feel like there's something I should know of.
But that's funny to me, because like when we had to research stuff, we would have to go to an encyclopedia. And the world is forever changing. The world is constantly evolving. So, things that things that are going on in the world now, is probably, if you pick up an encyclopedia, you probably can't even find it. Like, for example, COVID. You pick up COVID's not in encyclopedia.
It's the internet now.
So let me ask you this question. But like I said, when we grew up, we didn't have the internet, we didn't have Google, we had the encyclopedias. Do you think, like, because you grew up with the internet and social media, do you really think that y'all generation could make it without social media?
No.
And I mean, no social media at all.
I truthfully answer, no, ma'am. I couldn't even without social media. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. It's a habit. It's something I grew up with, and I don't believe it's something I can part with. It's not even just looking at what other people know. It's just like I have access to everything, friends, family. It's an easier access than just on social media seeing what celebrities are doing, what this person doing. It's more than that.
Okay. But it is a powerful tool that you can use to get your messages off. Now, when it comes to your future goals, what are your plans? Because I know me and your mom had a conversation. Do you still have dreams of pursuing, I don't know what is the correct term, but Disney? You want to do something with Disney still? She was telling me about that.
Disney, I outgrew a little bit. I still would love to be an actress, but I think I'm now into the field of mass communication, because you can't just go around saying, "Oh, I want to be an actress. I want to be a football player." Now they see that as a silly thing now. So the more professional term, mass communication. I would love to. Yes, I still would love to do mass communication. And if this happen to call me asking, do I would like to be part of their shows, I would be happy more than that. Oh, yes.
But listen, here's the thing. With acting, it doesn't necessarily be Disney, but acting, you still can act.
Yes, ma'am.
Because there's people like Denzel still acting, and I think Denzel's in his 60s.
and he does.
So you still can act, girl. And then who knows? What if you're on social media, you post something, say you go viral. Tyler Perry sees you. Oh, I need her in my play. I need her in my show. Then what?
Yeah, let me Tyler Perry. That would be very good. I actually am interested in working with him. I'll be very interested in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so what exactly do you see yourself doing in the future? You said mass communications. So what exactly do you want to do with mass communications? Because there are so many things, areas that you can go into. You can do radio, you could do podcasting, you could do television. And what area do you see yourself going into? What are you gravitating? Now, I do see you like the camera. So
Yes.
do you think you could do the TV, be on TV, do the news, deliver the
Yeah.
news?
I might be the weather girl in a few months. Oh, just, but yes, I do enjoy being on camera and the energy, and I really like public speaking, and that's why I really was interested in doing this, because I wanted to practice more public speaking. I've done auditions, I've been reached out to. That's why I feel like it's better to just get more practice. And
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
So do you oh okay, let me see Miss Tanya. Miss Tanya says you got to get out there and get mentors and take acting classes and media workshops. Learn the craft other ways than just college. Absolutely. That's a valid point. Because a lot of times I know when I was growing up, we was pushed college, 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 college. College is not for everyone. There are some avenues that you can take, and just like Tanya said, you got to get those mentors. Things that you like doing, you have to take. Let someone take you on their wing to show you the ropes. And like I said, college ain't for everybody. And listen, if I knew then what I now, and I probably shouldn't say this publicly, but I would not have went to college, because for me personally, it wasn't now the having a degree is a blessing, but for me, it was about who I knew, who was my mentor, who was pouring into me, who was showing me the ropes, showing me how to get things done. So, what she said is very, very important. You got to get the mentors that you need, that's going to show you what you need, and then you do your own research as well with different things that you want to do. And your mom says, yes, definitely we'll work on that. And then she says, mentors, mentors, mentors. And actually, people that are doing, like, if you do podcasting or radio, television, anything, I'm here for you. Miss Tanya the Poet, she does mentoring. Is not meant, yeah, actually Tanya do mentor. And actually, Tanya has a book, The Little Black Book of Poetry, out. Also, she has a podcast. Matter of fact, she's gonna be having her podcast. I'm gonna give you the link when we get off air. She has a podcast that's gonna be coming on this Sunday with her daughter. She does a podcast with her daughter, so you can also watch that as well if you want to get into podcasting. And also, just make sure you do all the research that you need to do. Make sure you reach out to the people. Like, there are people that you may see like, oh, I want to do that, or you know what I'm saying? So do all the research you can and get the necessary mentors that's going to take you under their wing and show you show you the ropes of what you need. And like I said, any questions you have for me, I'm here. I'm just a phone call away. I'm here to help.
I will introduce me to you, because I've heard of you. I know she told me about you. I was like, okay, well, maybe I can try that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So anytime you need to reach out to me, and like I said, make sure Tanya White tune into her daughter. She has a podcast with her daughter, and it's gonna be aired this Sunday. So I'll give you the link to that as well. And Tanya is a wealth of knowledge as well, and and it's something that information. One thing I love about Miss Tanya the Poet is that if there's information that she needs to share, she would share the information with you. She'll help you as much. That's what I love about her too. She help you as much as you possibly can. And what I don't know, I research and I reach out to those that do know, because I don't have all the answers. But when I don't, what I don't know, I research and I find out. So I really appreciate you. And anytime you want to come back, because I didn't want to take up too much time because you're on spring break still. When y'all go back to school Monday, right?
Yes, ma'am. Monday. I gotta go back to school with B and C.
So let me ask you this question. So what let me ask you this before we log on. What those grades looking like? What them grades looking like? Them grades popping?
Not for everybody. I'm just get what I need. We doing better. We doing good. The school year wrapping up. I got one more year. That's all the time.
You looking forward to graduation?
I actually am. I really am.
So you're gonna be class of
2023.
Because I had to think about it. I'm like, this week 2020. Okay. So class of 2023. Okay. Because my son is class of 2024. He's in the 10th grade. Yeah. So he's class of 2024. And let me see what your mom said. I have more student loans than money. Right. And she said, great advice. So yeah, we're gonna get you to where, like I said, when I was growing up, we was encouraged to go to college, but college is not for everybody. And like I said, if you don't go to college, don't feel bad because it's not for everybody. Because let me tell you something. I really appreciate the experience, and I got an opportunity to meet a lot of people and experience things. But when I tell you the debt I am in so much that I don't think I'll ever be, unless I strike rich or something. I don't know if I'll be able to get out of that debt. So.
That's the first my mom explained to me about college. Only reason I really do wish to go is again for the experience and the opportunity I get to meet other people and just experience college life. But I don't feel like, and I feel like it just there to tell people I did this, I can do this, but it's not really telling people that my actual ability, because I can go to school for acting, but that doesn't mean I'm a good actress. So that's why I do after school activities, anything I can find myself. I just not had an audition a little while back ago. Someone reached out to me and I'm thankful for it. Hopefully it can go further than that.
Let's say this, it will. And this is something I have to remind myself. I'm gonna tell you like I get told sometimes. Sometimes what you say, even though this is what having faith is all about. Make sure you say what you want to see. Like, and then I don't know if you keep a journal, but it's good to keep a journal and write down a vision of what you want to see. And like you said, I want to be a millionaire. And people may look at you and think it's foolish to say, but you got to speak out of your mouth what you want to see. And then and here's the thing too, you speak out of your mouth what you want to see, you write it down. And then you also, the key factor is believing what you say and having the faith in God that it will happen. And you'll be surprised. A lot of times things will start to manifest. But it's all about having the faith and believing that it's going to happen. So instead of saying, hopefully something, say, oh, listen, I did this audition. And listen, I'm going to get these roles. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get that. Yeah, speak it. It's going to happen. Now, granted, you got to have the patience. You got to keep the right frame of mind when you're doing these things and understand that in order to succeed, you got to go through some failures in order. Once you succeed, don't expect for everything to fall in your lap. Don't expect for things to happen overnight. There is a process to everything, but you got to stay focused. Keep yourself surrounded with the right people. You know what I mean? Like I said, you're on the right track. You got a right head on your shoulder. You're so positive. And like I said, I'm just so proud of you. I'm very proud of you. I'm proud of you.
I'll take your advice very much. I very much appreciate it, Miss Tori.
You're welcome. And you see the comment on the screen as Miss Tanya says that there's ways to do it smartly and it's obtainable. Do fear the debt. Know that money is out there. Talk to the right people, put in the work and make the grades. Absolutely. And have you been applying to applying to anything like as far as scholarships and stuff?
I have not applied anywhere yet, but I've looked at different schools. Right now, my dream hopefully will be get accepted into Spelman. Because that's my dream college. I took a trip there when I was younger, and I fell in love with it. Literally, Spelman's the number one place that I have eyes on, but I know it takes time. So
Listen,
hopefully,
it can happen, but you got like Miss Tanya said, don't. And she was saying, don't fear the dead. But let me say something. Get all the help that you can possibly get financially. And then there are. I know when I was in school, we had things where we could write essays and just apply for those scholarships. And like I was telling my son, don't wait until you a week from graduation to start thinking about it like starting. I actually started. I told my son you should have started when we were in middle school, applying certain things. I said, don't wait till the last minute. Make sure you have a plan, an idea of what you want to do. But like I said, everything is a process, and just make sure you do your necessary research. And there's assistance to help you. There is assistance. But when I went to school, I didn't know. I didn't do the research. I didn't know all the things that I should have researched, and I am in a lot of debt.
I've talked to my counselor, and my mom. They've explained to me, if I do choose to attend college, I will go to a technical college first, and then go to college. Yes, ma'am.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with that. Listen, had I known, like I said, had I known what I know now, I wish I would have started at a technical school first.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I think that's the way to go sometimes when you start at technical. And then there's also, if you don't go to college per se, there's also different trade schools that you can go to as well. And then there's other, I forgot like the other colleges, they have colleges. Because I know when I was going to school, I wanted to also be an interior decorator. And there's like colleges for that. There's colleges for acting. So it all depends on what you want to do.
Yes.
And she said, colleges in the plans, visit colleges, but research your career of interest. That's what your mom said.
Yes, ma'am. I do. I have backup careers. And funny you mentioned that, because actually interior designing, that is probably, I think that was my plan. I enjoy designing too. I see that I'm smart. Of course I'm smart. I made it smart, but I can't join a career where I'm doing something I know I'm not going to be happy. I don't like teaching. I cannot be an officer. I realize that I like social things, anything that involves with traveling, meeting different people, speaking. I notice that I'm more of a social person than something that's involves a lot of thinking. Not thinking, but yes, ma'am.
Well, here's the thing. Make sure that whatever you choose to do, career path. Now, understand that, life happens, things change. Something you like today, you may not like it tomorrow. But try as much as possible to get into something that you love doing so it doesn't feel like work. Because like so many times, like we were, when I was growing up, we were taught to just stay on this job, have a plant job, and stay on this job forever. It don't matter if the job stresses you out. You stay on that job. But what I love, and I heard Miss Tanya and her daughter speak about this on their podcast. What I love about you guys' generation, if you're on a job and you don't like it, you guys are not afraid to do something different. But when we were growing up, we were taught that if we were on a job, we got to stay on this job, whether it's making us sick, whether it's stressing us out, we stayed on that job. And I experienced staying on a job till so long, I overstayed my welcome on this particular job that in order for me to leave that job, it took me literally getting sick. But you guys, your generation is smart enough to know that if this is not working out for me, I can try something different. You know what I mean? We could try something. But listen, I was taught, stay on that job. Make that check, even if you're living from paycheck to check. Stay on that job, whether you're miserable or not. So what I encourage you to do is to do a job that you find you get joy, fulfillment, and it doesn't feel like work. Because the last thing you want to do is be on a job or be in a career, anything that you absolutely hate. Like you dread it. You don't want to get to the point when you're doing something and you absolutely dread it. So do what you love. And you don't have to limit yourself to one thing. You can do a multitude of that. But what I will say, don't overextend yourself.
Yes,
Just,
ma'am.
have, make plans and provisions. If there's more than one thing that you want to do, just don't spread yourself too thin now, because you can do more than one thing, but don't spread yourself too thin. And just do, like I said, do what you love. Do what
Yes,
you love.
I agree. I love my generation because they showed me all the different careers that are out there. Like
Mm-hmm.
she's a esthetician. I never knew what that was until she taught me what it was. I see that when they work with hair care, skin care, nail care, they work with anything like that. And I feel realized that I actually like that. I'm good with doing lashes. I'm good with certain things, and I see that more of as a hobby. Though it's a career, it's a good career. They make good, but I see that as a hobby than a career. So I do limit and spread out everything, then want to do everything all at once. I actually realized that I actually would like to be a real estate agent. That probably be the most normalest job.
Do you see Miss Tanya's comment? I put her comment so you can read her comment.
This ain't get
You can
different.
take online courses and get different certifications in many fields. Use that internet wisely.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
that is very smart. That is very wise to just, and then, like I said, do multiple things. Like I said, you guys, if the sky is, I would say the sky ain't the limit. It go beyond the sky. Go as far as you possibly can. But I would say not to overextend yourself. Don't
Yes.
put too much on your plate. But I would encourage you to do things that you enjoy doing. Like for me, I love media stuff. Like I was on a job before where I was in a call center and I absolutely hated it. So I love podcasting. I love talking. I love meeting new people. I love doing radio. Now, television is something that I kind of shy away from, but doing the podcast is making me more open to even doing that, because at one time I was like, okay, the radio, they can just hear my voice. They can't see me. But doing this podcast, the visual podcast has made it a little different. Something happened with your sound.
Ma'am.
Okay, go ahead. For some reason I think your sound went out for a second.
Oh,
But do what you enjoy doing so it doesn't feel like work.
yes, ma'am. I do. Like I said, I've spread out my options. I've now realized what I do like and what I don't like. The only thing is now, where can this career path take me, and where can this career path take me? Like I'm just trying to realize that I can't do everything. I understand I can't do everything, but if I choose this career, where will it take me, and will I enjoy it in the long run?
Absolutely. Because I've been doing radio for 22 years and I love it. Listen, I've been doing radio longer than you've been in the world.
That's true.
But podcasting is new to me. I started podcasting in 2019. And to be honest with you, Miss Tanya the Poet actually kind of encouraged me, because when I first started, I wanted to give up. I was thinking, well, who's going to listen to me? Who's going to pay attention to what I have to say? And she was one of the main ones that encouraged me. Like, it doesn't matter. You worried about the wrong stuff. You know what I mean? People that need to receive the message, or they will receive the message. So whatever you choose to do, just focus on staying focused and doing the best. Always, I tell my son all the time, to whatever you do, whether it comes to school, your job, always operate in excellence. Always do your best work. Always have good work ethic and all of that. Make sure you do all of those things. But like I said, you're on the right track, and I'm very, very proud of you. Very proud of you. And I'm trying to see what your mom said.
Yeah, I knew.
So about Tori, long good career. Listen, do what makes you happy. And like I said, and if you get on a career, like I said, something you may like today, you may discover, well, I want to do something different.
Yes,
I don't
ma'am.
want to, I don't like this anymore. So do what you enjoy doing.
Yes, ma'am. I will.
And Miss Margaret says, go for it, T. Well, and then going through some of the comments, and Vet says, "My God, this is what I've been praying about. Keep praying, keep praying, keep praying. Never stop praying.
I
Never
will.
stop praying, no matter what it looked like." Sheree says she is beautiful, and yes, sounds like she's on the right path. Stay around the good crowd. Stay focused.
I will.
Abs- Absolutely. Now, is there any final thoughts that you have? And like I said, you're welcome to come back.
I will. I more likely will. I,
Let me ask you this before you leave. What advice would you give to people in your generation that maybe, because you actually touched on mental health, growing up in this society, and also future goals? What advice would you give to someone you're in your age group that may be battling something mentally, but they're doing it in silence? And also, what encouraging words would you give to your generation to pursue their career goals?
anything when I feel down and I struggle to make myself feel better, to stop procrastinating and things like that, or I make a decision and it doesn't go as planned. I have some quotes I do write down, like, do better, do it again, but this time with God. Like, I have a friend, she talks to me sometimes, and you again, it does, who you surround yourself with does play an important role in that, because I make sure that anybody around me are okay. They make sure I'm okay, and I just try to talk to whoever to my ability. I can't get to everyone, but who I can, who I do see, and who's able to, listen, or is it, I do whatever I can to help.
And what do you say to those kids that are pursuing, I mean, to your generation? How do you give them that extra push, that encouragement to pursue their career goals?
Do it. But we have so careers out here that are ridiculous. You got people on YouTube eating food and they making millions off of videos. There's literally so many careers out here. Not everything is meant for everybody, but trying something, and if you can stick by it, that's good. But if you don't see yourself liking it in the long run, it's more careers out there to try and go for. And like you said, take the advantage of opportunities.
And I'm gonna show you this last comment. Miss Tanya, the poet, says, one last thing: read. You must be well read in the field of media and everything in life. Really, you must know things. Reading is how that's done. And one thing about that, I'm glad Tanya said that. One thing about reading, and I just told my son this just the other day. One thing about reading, whatever you have up here, that's something no one could ever take away from you. Whatever knowledge you acquire, no one can ever take your knowledge away from you. So learn as much as you possibly can. Matter of fact, you're never going to stop learning. I'm 45 and I'm still learning. So never think that you're going to know everything. Never think that you're going to get to the place where you stop learning. Always, and let me tell you something. Reading, and I was telling my son this as well. When you read things and you come to a word that you do not understand, because there's times where I come to a word and I was like, well, what does that mean? Don't keep reading. What I do, and this is just me, maybe it's just me, but if I come across a word that I don't know what it means, I'll stop and I'll write it down and I'll look it up. Because if you're reading something and a word is placed in a place and you don't know what it means, you're not going to know the context of that sentence or the context of that paragraph. So when you're reading and you come to words that you don't know what it means, look it up. And if you don't know something, and this is something that I fuss at my son about a lot. Like, if I ask you a question and you don't know the answer, just say, well, I don't know. It's okay to not know, because you're not going to know everything. Like, if someone asks you a question and you don't know the answer, just say, I don't know, or do your research to find the answer. Don't just try to say something that you think is going to sound good and end up sounding retarded.
Every That's okay not to know everything. I only need what I feel like I need to know. Yes.
Right. And I'm gonna go through some more of the comments. Your mom says, read, expand your mind. Knowledge is power. Miss Margaret says she is a smart girl. She will go somewhere. Absolutely, I totally agree. And your mom said I do the same to her. Listen, if I come across a word I don't understand, I'm looking it up.
Yeah. True.
Well, Tiana, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much, actually, because y'all, let me tell y'all, Tiana has been wanting to be on the podcast for a while, but she had to go to school. I was like, you know what? Better time to get her now while she's on spring break. So I appreciate you coming on. And I'm actually going to show this last comment. Sheree says, yes, things are constantly changing. Knowledge is power. Definitely keep God your main go-to source, as well as your mom. She birthed you and she will have your best interest at heart. And I'm telling you, that's the absolute truth. Listen, your mom is your go-to for real. And you already know your mama got your back.
She does. She can be a headache sometimes. That's my Duchess, so.
Yeah, because she was telling me that you wanted to be on the podcast, but like I said, I'm glad it happened when it happened. It happened when it was supposed to happen. But make sure you take heed to all. You can also, if there are comments that you missed, you can also go back to look at the comments. Actually, you can go on my YouTube channel. Well, I don't know if maybe it'll come up, but you can look at you because you don't do Facebook. So even if you have to go on your mom's channel, just look through the comments that you may miss. But make sure you take heed to the advice that we're giving you. And of course, you already know your mom got your back. So she's not gonna, now, even though parents, we could be headaches sometimes, but we're not gonna tell you anything to steer you wrong. We always, as parents, want our children to go. I know most of us, we want our children to go to see far beyond what we, you know what I mean? Yes. We want them to do more than what we did, if that makes sense. And then going back to getting a degree, if you go to college and obtain a degree, don't don't just say I have this degree. Make your degree work for you, and also realize that you yourself, you are a walking billboard. So be a great representation of what you want people to see. You are your biggest, you're going to be, at the end of the day, you're going to be your biggest cheerleader, and then you're going to be your walking billboard. So make sure you represent what you want people to see. You know what I mean? Because some people represent something and represent images, and that's a whole nother topic. But just make sure you be a great representation. And like I said, you're well on your way. You're on the right track. So stay where you are and keep those positive people in your life. And like you said, like even you said earlier, you don't like to be around toxic and negative people. So keep that mindset, not only now, but as an adult, and always keep God first, because God is never going to steer you wrong. Make sure you have your faith steered. That's the foundation. And, a lot of times you have faith, things will work out better. And even I was telling someone earlier today that when you have faith, a lot of times we get caught up in our feelings because we're looking at things with our natural eyes. A lot of times we have to look at things from our spiritual eyes and see things, like I was saying earlier, write the vision, and you got to see things before it actually happens. Like you had an opportunity to do something, and just look at it as that's going to open more doors, that I'm going to have more acting gigs. Yes. Listen.
I had to talk to myself. I understand, yes, that he knows I might want something, but he knows what I need, and he doesn't give us anything that we can't handle. I might feel drained, but it's something still that I can handle.
Absolutely. Well, it has been I'm trying to think I don't remember being this smart at 17. I don't remember getting it together till later in life.
I talk to myself. I do a lot of talking. Well, very much for you inviting me on here, and I'm thankful for any comments. I listen. Any advice is helpful and welcome. Yes, ma'am.
And just stay humble like you are. Like I said, don't let anybody, any situation change who you are, and don't let people influence you to do different things. Like I said, you're on a great path. So stay on this path. Like I said, and especially when it comes to eliminating negativity and toxic people, be on that as well. That same mindset when you become an adult as well. Because you almost there. You're 17, girl. I can't believe you're 17.
I know, me. I'm still trying to get past 15. Everybody graduate and be gone. It's moving fast. It stops for nobody though. So just go with it.
You're almost a senior. My God.
I'm ready. I think if I'm not ready, I'm gonna get ready.
Well, stay focused. And anytime you want to come back on the podcast, just let me know. Like I said, I'm a phone call away. You got my phone number, you got my email address. Just reach out to me. And next time, if you want to, you can actually have if the friends that you have, if there's a topic that are affecting you as teenagers and you want to talk about it, hey, come on, just let me know. And send it. I have if you want to have a couple of your friends on, I'm all for it.
I'll talk to them about it because there's some incidents that recently came up that I know that they would love other adults' opinions on.
Okay, sounds good. But like I said, I'm a phone call, text away, email away. Just give me a call. But thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for taking time out of your spring break.
It's okay. It's okay. What I love. Yes, ma'am.
And make sure you tell your friends that may have missed the podcast. Make sure you share I'm going to send a link to you. So if they missed it, they can watch the replay for you. Make sure you tell them, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Since, some of y'all not on Facebook, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I'll give you my Twitter information as well. But like I said, thank you so much. And stay humble. Stay humble.
I will. I'm stick by how I am.
Okay, well, guys, I want to thank everyone for watching. If you missed the beginning, definitely watch the replay. And Tiana, I want you to hang on once we end the live. Hang on a second. Now, I want everyone to, if you missed the beginning, watch the replay. If you would like to be a guest on the Keep the Faith podcast, you can call or text me at 843-920-8124. Or you can email me, and let me pull that information up. You can email me as well at faithisnecessary@gmail.com. And if you'd like to be a guest or you have a topic suggestion, either call or text that number, or you can possibly email me as well. And I want to thank everyone for watching. And of course, your mama, your biggest support. Thank you so much, Tawana. I call her, no. Oh, my bad. It's Duchess. Thank you, Duchess, for being so supportive of your baby girl. And thank you so much for being a great support to me as well. And as I end all podcasts, we all go through things in this thing called life. But whatever we go through, whatever it may be, remember, we may bend, but don't you dare break. And in all situations, always remember to keep the faith. And with that being said, we out. We'll talk to you later. Peace.